guys, and welcome to the Watford vs Sunderland match review. So Sunderland did come from behind twice to get away with a 2-2 draw at Vicarage Road. And you know what? Some people might think I'm overplaying this, but I'm absolutely buzzing with that draw. And yes, it is only a draw on paper. It is only a draw. But what I'm more buzzing with is, Watford, granted they haven't had an excellent start to the season, but they are hands down, particularly on paper, one of the best, if not the best, or strongest squads in the league. Yet we go to Vicarage Road, which is a difficult place anyway to go to, with our young squad, a strikerless squad, and we didn't play particularly great. If anything, we actually played quite poor for different spells in the game, and we still managed to come from behind twice to get away with a draw. That's what I'm most proud of. It wasn't an outstanding performance. It wasn't an excellent performance. For large parts, or for a good couple of chunks, as I say, of the game, we were actually very, very poor. And maybe that isn't me giving Watford enough credit, but at times we were very, very poor, and we still kept on going. We kept believing, in years gone, we would have had a team, particularly in the Championship, that, as soon as we concede a goal, heads down, the game's done. Do you know what I mean? And you don't see the players, running through barriers and running through brick walls for the badge. And that is exactly what we're getting at the minute. People argue that we need more experience and what have you. But what these young lads have is this resilience and this raw sort of ability and this mentality of, I don't give a shit whether a goal down, we're going to go and win the game, or at least we're going to go to, we're going to go for goal. We're not going to give up. And that is what I appreciate and I love so much about this performance. So if you're buzzing with it, even though it is a draw, hit the like button. That would be great. But, getting into it. So we started off with essentially an unchanged side from the one that started against Reading. Of course, Sims started against Reading, but he was replaced with Embleton, and that's how we started with, that is what we started with against Watford. Now, the opening sort of 20 minutes or so, I thought we were really, really poor. I don't think Watford looked particularly great, but we were just so wasteful in possession. We could not string a pass together to save our lives. The likes of Evans in particular, I think actually throughout the afternoon, and he might think I'm digging him out, I think there's a couple of players that didn't have a great performance despite the sort of positivity after the result. But, Evans for me, who is grown to be one of my favoured players because of how good, and I can see his value to the team, particularly over the last few months. I think he was appalling in terms of his distribution, his ball retention. He was constantly giving the ball away. Dan Neil did a handful of times, but with Evans, it was every single time he was getting the ball. He was, trying to play the intricate passes, but they just weren't coming off, and they were just giving it straight to him, and little errors here and there, which plenty of players did, but he, for me, stuck out like a sore thumb, particularly in the opening 20 minutes, could not get the ball down at all, but neither could anyone, What I found us doing is just consistently playing ourselves into danger, and then what that does is it either gives the ball away in a dangerous position and in a favourable position for Watford, or it forces to hoof the ball up to no one, because you're hoofing the ball up to, Alex Pritchard or Elliot Embleton. They're not going to win, headers against Alex Cathcart, big brick shithouses, for the back. We need the ball on the ground, and it just wasn't coming off for us the opening 20 minutes. But then after we sort of saw it calm after about 20 minutes. It was mainly Watford who looked like they were going to threaten, but then we started to come round, we grew into the game, and it started to shift as if it looked like we were going to score without creating too many chances. We started to play really good football, the nice intricate passing, the likes of what we saw against Reading, really intricate passing, but without really creating a couple of little chances here and there. It was a really nice move down the right-hand side, then Gooch cut in from right to left, he tried to go for the far corner, it's gone wide. Little half chances, penalty shouts that absolutely should have been given. I think a corner come in, Alessi gets the knock on, and then Clark gets it, back to goal, 6 yard out, and then Chowdhury just leans into him, forces him to the floor, he crushes him to the floor, directly in front of the referee, he waves play on, and then Watford go and score. So Watford, don't get me wrong, this is where that quality comes through. It was an inch perfect ball, diag ball, onto the left-hand side, they're driving out towards the byline, cut it across goal, and it's a tap-in for him. To tap in for him to make it 1-0. Not too much we could have done about that. It really was just the sheer quality of the pass that opened us up. But yeah, so we're 1 goal down. And I'm thinking how we're going to react to this, and also how are Watford going to react to this. But it seems to wake us up. The second they score, it's like we really wanted to go for it at this point. Making half chances, flooding the box. And we're really, really going for it. And as I say, we managed to break. Lovely little move. Pinged across goal by Patrick Roberts. Clark tries to get there. The defender, it may have been Cathcart, tried to get in the way of the attempt from Clark, but it falls back to Alessi. He drills it past the keeper, and it looked like Chowdhury had cleared it on the line, but it had been adjudged to have crossed the line of the ref's the signal on the ref's watch, and it was given as a goal. So just on the stroke half time, we make it 1-1. Perfect. Now the second half we come out, and we were poor again. It was absolutely identical to the first half when we first started. I think we were so poor. We dropped back 5-10 yards. We're just allowing them so much time and space. And we're passing the ball. That passing was, oh my, it was god-awful. It really, really was. And then the change starts to ring around. You know, Watford, they're making chances. They eventually get themselves the goal with a Luke O'Nien own goal. And the thing that frustrates me for this one, and this is the one thing that I do highlight for, you know, O'Nien should maybe have done better there, although in the way he's kind of jumped up for the ball, it was a second ball that was looped back in the air. It's only about 7-8 yards out, if that, and he's just kind of thrown himself up in the air. He manages to beat everyone else. It's going to go anywhere, and unfortunately for him, it goes in the back of the net. But Pato, this is what's happened a handful of times. I'm not going to forget the amount of, you know, worldly saves he's pulled off, or great reaction saves, or one-on-one stand-up saves that he's made. I'm not going to forget that, of course not. But my main concern, and I've said it time and time again, is his sort of commanding of the area. It is very, very poor, and his decision making to come for a ball is very, very poor. He doesn't claim crosses fantastically, and when it's a loose ball in the box, you could see that one when it was the second ball, it was looped in the air. He kind of went forward for a minute and thought, actually shit, now I'm going to go back, and he stands on his line. A keeper standing on his line for a ball that is in the air and it can contest him 6 yards in front of him, that is ridiculous. To not even attempt to go for it, and it leaves O'Nien in a shit position because that could go anywhere, and it has hit the back of the net, unfortunately. So, yeah, 2-1, and then the changes start to be ring round, you know. You've got Matete who come on, who is outstanding, by the way. Bennette come on as well, Diaku. And Diaku actually got himself a really, really good chance. So he managed to nick him behind his man on the left-hand side. He's bounding down on goal. He's on the left-hand side. His touch takes him away slightly on the left-hand side, but he needs to be working the keeper, and he drags it past the far post, unfortunately for him. Bennette, though, my God, or Bennette, however you want to call it, he is absolutely outstanding. He is absolutely outstanding. The first time he got the ball, he got it on the left-hand side, and it's his fearlessness that is it's just incredible. And I said this on my last stream the other day. We need to get behind this lad. He's 18 years of age. He doesn't speak a lick of English, apparently, and he's left all his family behind in Costa Rica, and he's moved to Sunderland, you know, by himself. That would be shit scary. I mean, me at 18 years of age, I wouldn't want to leave my hometown, let alone leave the country to go work. I'd shit myself. Do you know what I mean? So, and to, you know, someone that can't understand the word I'm saying, that must be so difficult for him. So to him to show the fearlessness that this lad has got, like I say, he picked up first thing on the left-hand side. He kind of picked it up. He was kind of holding up the play, and I thought, oh no, he's just going to go backwards, isn't it? Then bang, his acceleration of pace, he nicked it past his man. Before you know it, he's gone past him. He is stupidly quick, that lad, and he pulls it to the byline, then drags it across goal, and unfortunately did get cleared away, and I thought, shit, we've got a player in our hands here. But then, yeah, we're still pressing. We're throwing the kitchen sink at it, and we're looking really, really good. It was a final 15-20 minutes for me where I thought we were outstanding. We absolutely dominated. We looked like the only team that were going to score, making half chances here and there. We actually got a goal ruled out. You know, excellent play again on the right-hand side. It was Diallo. He picks out Clark at the far post, who volleys it inch perfect into the far right-hand side. And apparently it was offside. On the replay, apparently it may have just been offside, but at first it did look okay on my standing anyway. You know, I thought we might get given some, you know, given that there was a penalty at the other end that should have happened in the first half, but didn't, and that was offside. So I was thinking it's not going to be our day. You know, they brought on Barr, who looked excellent, by the way. I keep on calling all these new players excellent, but they really did. You know, Abdullah Barr, you know, the first time he got the ball, you know, and they've got some big, you know, central midfielders. You've got Chowd with Kasembi, big brick shit out, physical players. Abdullah Bar, you know, he's only a young lad as well. Soon as the first time he gets the ball, he picks it up, head up, go, and he's going for it. He takes on Kasembi, and he's going for it. He's driving back, he's gliding through them as if they went there, and he gets brought down for a free kick. And I know that doesn't sound like much, but again, a young lad, you know, he just didn't care. The fearlessness, I absolutely adore that. The fearlessness. When you've got these big lads, Premier League or World Premier League players, and you're running up against them and you do not care, you've got me. Do you know what I mean? You could just see the quality and control on the ball for Barr. You know, I want to give him some credit as well. And again, Matete, because he come on in the middle as well. He was outstanding in terms of his physicality. And usually, you know, he's been given a bit of stick in recent times. And when he is coming on under Mowbray, he is looking fantastic. But then it is the time that we all waited for. Because that lad, Dewey Bennette, oh my, I adore this lad already. I know I've already given him so much credit in this video. But it's Patrick Roberts again on the right-hand side. He was constantly feeding balls from that right, so you need to give credit to Roberts as well. He's dinked the ball across goal. It's evaded everyone, but then it falls to Bennette on the left-hand side, chests it and hits it through the crowd of players into bottom right-hand corner with 3 minutes to go to make it 2-2. Sunderland fans absolutely mental. The scenes, the limbs was crazy. And I am so unbelievably happy for the kid. You know, not just the travelling fans or the fans themselves. I'll just spot everywhere. But I was just so happy for the lad. You can see what it means to him. It must be so hard for him, like I say, and for him to score, you know, last few moments of the game against a team of practically Premier League frigging opposition. Do you know what I mean? To score the equaliser, that must mean so much to him. And I'm so happy for him. I really am. And, you know, Diallo was on the pitch as well. He looked really threatening. And we just have all these players that, you know, they're competing at the minute. And I don't know who I'd start. Do you know what I mean? Because these young kids that come on and, you know, we speak about Speakman. But yeah, we do. And he gets called a lot. And yeah, granted, of course we need more strikers. But you also need to give credit where credit's due. He's brought in these sort of unknown entities in Bennette, in Barr, and the like, and Mishu, who we haven't seen just yet. And there's other players they've all come off. Every single one of them have come off. Yeah, it's very easy to give shit to someone when maybe the striker that we wanted didn't want to come. Or maybe, I know that they've said that maybe the priority wasn't a striker, but that was at the time when, you know, you had Stewart and Ellison. It's just, oh, look, both of them got injured. Yeah, you should maybe have a different option. But we seem to be doing well without it. So credit where credit's due. Speakman has done class on the transfer front. He has done. End of story. Yes, the things that he missed out on that he should have absolutely improved on. We definitely need another striker. But, you know, weighing up the pros and cons, you know, we're still getting 3-0 wins against Reading. We're still grabbing late last-minute draws against essentially Premier League opposition. I'm not going to sit here and cry and moan about the striker that we don't have because we're still doing well. So, you know, which is down to the players as well as the management. And, you know, Speakman, yes, he should have maybe got a striker in. But there's so many other positives, you know, that I'm not going to forget all the positives because we haven't got a striker. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, so it finishes 2-2, and if anything, it looked like we were going to go for the winner, and it didn't come on the day, but maybe a draw was a fair result. I've seen people say that we probably should have won, but I just think because there were a couple of large periods where we were that poor, that maybe it evened itself out with the draw, so I'll take that every day of the week. I predicted a Watford 2-0 win, so I got their amount of goals right, but I just didn't see that coming. But 2-2, I'm going to absolutely take it. We're currently 5th in the league, but what's mental as well, I think it's only 5 points separate 5th and 22nd. So it just shows, you know, everyone's beating everyone. Like 1 minute they're getting battered, next minute they're beating the best team. You know, everyone's beating everyone. In this league, anyone can beat anyone. That's the thing. So you need to maintain, you need to be consistent. Otherwise, you know, a run of 2 or 3 defeats and you're in the relegation zone. You go from the playoffs to the relegation zone like that in this league. So just keep it going and buzzing. We get a little bit of time off now. You can hopefully get Sims back fit. Other players that maybe are catching up on fitness. Give some more essential, you know, recovery time for Ross Stewart as well. And hopefully we come back firing. But that's it, guys. 2-2. I'm buzzing with that one, particularly for my boy Dewey. My boy Dewey, I absolutely love him. I absolutely love him already. If you love him, let me know in the comments down below. And of course, hit the like button for me if you have enjoyed. But for now, take care and stay jammy.